Some of us used to really walk around looking like Little Bill.
If it wasn't for oh.
What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming back with a new video. This is new for my channel, and besides my colorism video I did a few months ago, this is going to be one of my more personal videos, but I feel like it's something that a lot of people can relate to, and if you can't relate to it, you know somebody that can. And it's about black men hair care. And you know, black hair texture, black hair care and products, and you know, our own hair growth journeys and everything like that. I'm going to be discussing mine, and I'm going to be discussing, as y'all see in the title, the whole Little Bill haircut and the whole phenomenon that was, and from the looks of it still is. Y'all ready? Let's go. So if you don't know what I'm referring to, if you don't know who Little Bill is a cartoon character. He was a little black boy, had his own cartoon. I used to watch the show all the time. It came on Nickelodeon. But the thing about Little Bill that became like a meme and the whole phenomenon I'm talking about is how he was like a little boy with a bald head. A little black boy with a bald head. And referring to the haircuts, that's a haircut that a lot of little black boys around America got. Now, I don't know about any other countries, but I know in America, especially in New York City, back in school, you know, first grade, kindergarten, middle school, whatever. If you didn't have that haircut, you knew somebody that did. That Little Bill type haircut where it was like almost a bald head, just above a bald head, like a buzz cut. You know, you never saw them with their hair growing out. You never saw their hair grow out. Now, there will be some guys, right, that you see they had braids, they had this, they had that, but it's like those same guys, like me, I was one of them, I'm about to show y'all, that always had the Little Bill haircut. I was giving Little Bill a run for his money. Look, y'all thought I was playing. These are pictures from my younger years. Same haircut in every picture. I was like 7 in this picture, 10 in this picture, maybe 5 in this picture, maybe 7 in this picture. I mean, 3 in this picture. I mean, do y'all see what I'm saying? Like, oh, but wait, there's more. There's more. I was like 3 in this picture. And y'all know, under this cap and gown, it was Little Bill, Little Bill. And I don't know what it was, but it was just like this thing where it was like, you know, your mother and or your father, you know, some little boys, like they just took them to the barber and just said, cut it all off, cut it all off. And you know, you might have a little shape up, you might see a little shape up, but your head was basically bald. It was a buzz cut. And you know, every 2 weeks, that's the formula, right? Every 2 weeks, your hair would keep growing in a little bit too much. Up, you're going right to the barbershop. Sometimes it was a thing where you didn't even have to say nothing. You take them to the barbershop, the barber already knew, okay, I'm gonna shave his head off, give him a Little Bill. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just thinking about it, as y'all saw those pictures, right? From the age of like 3 to 24-ish, I was rocking the Little Bill. And y'all know what? Y'all can't even look back at my old videos. And I know some of y'all that watch me all the time, look at my thumbnails. Y'all can see how I had like that bald head. I never let it really grow too much. And the only time I did let it grow so much was 2 years ago when like COVID first hit, you know, and I had no choice. The barber shops closed. You know, I wasn't gonna come out here. Come on, I wouldn't have dared did that to myself. The barber shops were closed, hair salons were closed, and it was what it was. You just had to woof it out, right? A lot of guys went through that process of just woofing it out, letting your hair grow out, and see what happened. And then when everything opened back up, you went, you got your shape ups, you got your haircuts. It was a thing where it was like 3 months in, stuff started slowly opening back up. And you know, my barber, I texted my barber, he was like, oh, come to the shop, blah, blah, blah. And you know, he kind of like had to sneak me in. And I sat in the chair, and to be honest, it was one of those things, like I said, I didn't say anything. I just sat in the chair, you know, he, oh, how you doing, blah, 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 whatever, you know, we talked, and then he just cut my hair off, right? I didn't say nothing, I didn't tell him what I wanted. He just knew to give me the Little Bill. When I looked in the mirror, I was like, oh, okay. You know, I didn't have no hair. I just knocked on my head, patted it. I'm like, all right, I got a Little Bill. Had a nice little shape up. And I remember going home that day and looking in the mirror in the bathroom. I'm like, man, I really kind of miss how my hair used to look when it was growing out. And I'm like, I never really saw how my hair looked. I never really saw like what kind of curl pattern I have. How would my hair look in an afro? Because that's another thing. Even when I was younger, I remember my father had an afro, And I always would want to have my hair like that, but I always was looking like Little Bill. Comes to a point where every little black boy that grows up to adolescence, you're a teenager, you're young 20s, early 20s, right? You get into this phase where it's like you went through that phenomenon of always having that Little Bill haircut, the buzz cut, just above having a bald head with a little shape up, maybe. And you get to the point where he's like, you know what? I want to see how does my hair look growing out. And you see all these other guys with all these nice haircuts and high top fades and this and that and the curls and the that and the this and the that, and you just still rocking the Little Bill. Now, like I said, even with the Little Bill haircut, I thought, you know, back in the day, I could look back at those pictures. I thought, you know, those are cute pictures and da da da. But I'm like, as I get older, I want to experiment with my hair. You know what I'm saying? My mother's not the one taking me to the barbershop anymore. Like, it just became a thing where it was a habit for me to just keep getting these little buzz cuts. And I'm like, I want to see how my hair grows out. I want to see what kind of curl patterns it takes, what kind of this, what kind of that, what kind of products I can use. You know, eventually, if it gets, you know, bigger and bigger, like how big will my afro be? How curly will it get? Like, if I get a haircut like this, how would it look? You know what I'm saying? Like, you get to that point where you just like, I need to try something else. I need to try something new. You know, I live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of Latinos and black people, mostly Latinos. You know, it's like a half and half type of thing, right? And, you know, my barber is Dominican. I've been going to him for over 10 years at this point. So, like I said, it became a thing where I would just go in the chair, you know, we'd say, what's up to each other, da 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 da. I would sit in the chair, I wouldn't even have to say nothing. He already knew to give me the Little Bill. But I remember, it was like 3 summers ago, before lockdown, I went to him and I sat in the chair, and right before he cut my hair, he was like, Tony, do you want a design? Do you want something new? Like, even he was like, I'm tired of giving you a Little Bill, yo. You gotta come up with something else. I just know every time I walked in the barbershop, my barber was like, oh my God. Cause you know, barbers like experimenting, they like giving shape ups, they like experimenting with different hairstyles, different hair textures. And you know, my barber, even though he was Dominican, he had a lot of black clients like me, like over 10 years. And I know that thing about being loyal to your barber. So that's why I went to him for over 10 years. But it came to the point where he was just like, damn, I'm tired of giving him the same, like, damn, like, let me see if he wants something new. Like, you know, just cutting all my hair off, giving me a shape up, giving me a little edge up with the razor. I'm like, he was like, do you want a design? Getting a Little Bill haircut for so long, I got accustomed to that. And I was just like, I didn't want to try nothing new. I didn't want to try no designs. I didn't want to try to grow my hair out because I was so used to getting that. But then one day I was just like, you know what? For my birthday last year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let my hair grow out. After thinking about it for so long, I said, you know, it's time. It's about time. And as y'all can see, I've been letting my hair grow out for over 7 months now. And I'm liking it. Liking the way everything is coming out. Every once in a while I pick it out just to, you know, puff it up a little bit. And another thing I realized is that if you pick your hair out too much, you kind of lose those natural curls that, you know, black hair naturally gets. So, you know, I don't want to do it too much, but every once in a while I might pick it out just to puff it up, give it some volume, because that's another thing with black hair, especially I know with mine. And I don't know what kind of hair type I have, but I know it's like, I know 4B, 4C, I don't know. I'm not no hair expert. You know, some people could look at your curl pattern and be like, you got 4C hair. I don't know. Sometimes I look in the mirror, I'm like, damn, it's been 7 months. My hair's not really growing. But then I'm like, wait. I'm like, my hair's not growing. But then I take a little strand and pull it. I'm like, okay, all right. You see what I'm saying? Like, look at this. Even the hair in the back, I could pull it and do something with it. You know, over 7 months, I'm like, all right. Another 5, we'll make a year. Let's see what happens then. Let's see what happens then. I do wish my beard and mustache were growing a little more, but one step at a time, right? One step at a time. Black hair is magical. Like I said, black hair is versatile. It can take many different shapes, many different forms, many different styles. And I'm like, it's about time I experiment with mine and see what shape it takes. Because, you know, that's another thing I want to get into, and I've heard this all my life, not even pertaining to me, but just in general, with like within the black community and just in general, right? Social media, everything, where people refer to good hair, like what is good hair? And it's like, okay, good hair is mostly considered to be like that, you know, silky hair, smooth hair, the hair that doesn't look quote unquote nappy or rough or hard to manage. You know, a lot of black hair, people consider that to be nappy and rough, and it's like, you know, the silky smooth hair, that's the good hair. But I'm like, black people have good hair too. Black men can have good hair too. Black women can have good hair too. Black children can have good hair too. You know? And being that I always got that haircut, I never really knew. Now I remember, like I said, my father had the afro, and I always wanted my hair to be like that. But you know, as a kid, you just go to the barber shop, sit in the chair, let the barber do whatever. You just. But as I got older, I really had that epiphany where I was like, I want to see what my black hair can do, and I'm loving this so far. I'm really loving this, and you know, another 5 months will make a year. Let's see what happens from there. Just using some celebrities as example, y'all remember when even back then, like it was a time where like Chris Brown had that type of haircut, not like a bald head, but he had like the low shaven haircut for so long. Usher had the low shaven haircut for so long. Over the years, you see how, especially Chris Brown, he has experimented with different hairstyles, different hair textures. Usher even experimented with different hairstyles. I was younger, I would see like the little other black boys in my class, some of them seeing the other little boys with like braids and like big poofy hair. I always wondered, I'm like, damn, I wonder how my hair would look like that. But it's just like a little afterthought. But as you get older, you just like, after so long, you want to see what your hair can really do. And that's the point where I am right now, where I'm like, I really want to see what my hair can do on its own, naturally. Because going into the versatility of black hair, do y'all know, like researching, watching all these YouTube videos of like guys giving tutorials, how to get a curly this, how to get a curly that. And I came across this video where, y'all know in a certain tribe in Ethiopia, there's men who have their hair like this. This whole video, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with having a bald head, right? But I'm just saying, like, for a lot of little black boys across America, as children, it's like they were kind of forced into having that shaved haircut every 2 weeks. And you could never really see what shapes and what forms and what curls your hair could take, your hair could grow to be, because you always got the little Bill haircut.
You know, kids still 100 on the top.
That's another thing where a lot of people, first of all, Africa is a big continent with many countries in it, many tribes in it, many different cities in it. A lot of people still have that mentality of Africa, like, oh, it's full of huts and people, whoa, all that stuff. And it's just like, no, Africa is such a diverse continent with many different countries, many different cultures within that one country. I see like that picture of the guys in Ethiopia that have their hair like that. I'm just like, in certain countries in Africa, they use natural products, where, you know, in America, we use like handmade products, products from a company, products that this one made, products that one made, which I'm about to get into. These are just some of the products I use or have tried to use in the past. Some of them work, some of them haven't, but you know, it's all about experimenting and trying new things, seeing what works for you, seeing what doesn't, and I'm gonna get into these in a few. A hairline that I really recommend and that I've really been using, which I recommend for black hair, and I've been reading reviews on it. And another thing, think about it before you really look at reviews. Think about how every product doesn't work for every hair type and every hairstyle and every hair texture. You know, every product doesn't work the same for everybody. Because, you know, a lot of people will leave reviews like, oh, this product, da da da, oh, this line, da da da, this shampoo, da da da. But it's like, in the review, did you mention how you dyed your hair 3 times? And you wonder why this shampoo or this and this is not working? Because your hair is damaged. These products can only do so much. But I digress. A hairline that I really recommend and I've been using is this Shea Moisture Coconut and Hibiscus Shampoo and Conditioner. And they got a whole other line. They got the Coconut and Hibiscus Hold and Shine Moisture Mist, where it's like you can spray a little bit on your hair, and you know, you just pat it in and it gives you like that shine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how if you wash your hair, and you know my hair is freshly washed now for this video, you spray it in your hair, it gives it that shine, because you know after a while when your hair dries up, it curls up, it might get a little dry. This really, you know, and this shampoo and this conditioner, I really recommend this, because not only does it smell good, not only it's like a nice creamy like coconut milk type smell. Not only does it smell good, but it really lathers in your hair. You can really feel like all the dirt and oil coming out. And that's another thing what I learned researching about hair care. You're not supposed to wash your hair every day. You research into it, washing your hair every day is not good because you wash away those natural oils your hair needs to grow and prosper. Now, twice a week is good. Every 4 days, every 5 days is good. Another thing I want to talk about is castor oil, which is like this type of oil that is good for hair growth. And sometimes I like put it in by itself, mix it with some water, and I mix it with my shampoo. And like when castor oil really penetrates your scalp, it really helps with your hair growth. That's another thing I've been using. So I recommend this. Research into it. Like I said, everything doesn't work for everybody. Notice that every time I use this with my shampoo, my coconut hibiscus shampoo, it makes my hair even shinier when it air dries. And like I said, when it deeply penetrates your scalp, it promotes that hair growth that you would want if you're going on a hair growth journey, Now this is another Shea Moisture hair product. It's the Manuka Honey and Mafura Oil Intensive Hydration Conditioner with fig extract and boboy oil or whatever. Bobab oil. I don't know. I don't know. And I feel like it says it's supposed to hydrate and replenish extra dry, damaged hair. Now, like I said, before I really got into hair care, I feel like my hair was extra dry and damaged because, I really wasn't taking care of it because I was always getting a little bill haircut. Shampoo and conditioner really works too. But the smell is a little medicine-y. It could be better considering that, honey and oil and this and that. You think it'd be better, but it's... And then another line of products I want to get into is Cantu. But you got to be careful with Cantu because I heard there's a lot of things that Cantu can't do. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get into that later. This is the curl cream, right? And this is more like that mousse type texture. And I noticed another thing with me, with my hair, and this is another thing I have, some coconut oil hair scalp conditioner. And you can see that it's like more gel-ish. Gel, because my hair is so thick now and it's growing, the gels and the mousses don't really work for me because when I mix it in my hair, they're supposed to be leave-in conditioners and stuff. It gets clumpy and lumpy and just nasty looking. So I'm like, no, that doesn't work for me. For some people, it works, it blends in, and it makes it nice and shiny, but for me, it clumps my hair up. I just keep them there just because, but I'm like, I realize that these are not really for me. Now this, on the other hand, it's the Cantu Wave Whip Curling Mousse, which is more like a mist. When you spray it, it's like you see that? That really works. You don't feel like you got a whole bunch of like oils and product in your hair. It's just a light mousse, you spray it, and it's like, it gives your hair a nice shine for at least another 3-4 hours. And last but not least, y'all know how you get a haircut or you get a shape up and the barber sprays a little shh. This Cantu Shea Butter Oil Sheen is a deep conditioner spray. I use this too sometimes because it smells good, but it's really strong. And like I said, after, you don't want to keep using this every day because all those oils fester in your hair. And it's like, washing your hair every 4 or 5 days, you don't want all those oils to like clog your pores, your hair pores. So then it's like, it actually starts stunting your hair growth instead of stimulating it. So like I said, be careful with the oils, be careful with the mousses, be careful with a lot of different things. Don't wash your hair every single day. Just experiment, do your research, and you never know what kind of journey your hair will go on, what kind of hair growth you will have. Sometimes you just gotta let your natural hair just breathe, do its own thing. But keep experimenting and keep seeing what works for your hair, what doesn't. Because like I said, in certain countries in Africa, certain tribes in Africa, they don't gotta use none of this. They use natural stuff, natural products that come from nature, and their hair be down their back. And they have all different type of styles, like I showed y'all. So back to my whole hair growth journey, I noticed over the last months, like month 3, month 4, month 5, where my hair was growing. Even I would go to work, and certain people would be like, "Oh, I remember this one time one of my coworkers was like, 'Oh, Tony, your hair's getting curly,' and I'm like, I knew, but I'm like." The fact that other people was commenting on it, and it's not like I was growing my hair out just to have people giving compliments, but I'm like, wow, I'm like, other people are taking notice. Okay, let's see what happens. Because another thing, when you realize, when you first meet people, when you talk to people, besides looking at your face, the other thing they do is look at your hair. And it's just, so that's something I noticed. Working with the public, you know, having a job that works with the public, you interact with people all day, every day. And that's another thing I do. Like when I first meet people, or first greet people, or first interact with people, I look at their hair. Working in a high public area like Times Square, I see a lot of different black people come into the store I work at, and I see a lot of different black hairstyles, and I'm like, man, that's an oh. And on this journey of hair growth, and this whole hair journey I'm on, I'm like, I wonder how my hair would look like that. I wonder how my hair would look like that. And just thinking back to like having a little bill haircut, not being able to even do nothing with it, and the fact that I can, even now at this stage, I could do so much with it. But I want to push it a little further to see how far it could go. It just brings everything into perspective where I'm like, having black hair can really be a dope experience if you really take it there, you know? This whole quote unquote thing of having bad hair, nappy hair, unmanageable hair. Now, if you don't take care of your hair, if you don't keep up with the maintenance of your hair, it could get whatever. But if you keep up with your hair, you try to maintain it, you experiment with it, you do this, do that, your hair can take many different shapes. Black hair can take many different forms, and there's so many creative styles you can do. And that was just the whole point of this video, and just me reflecting back on the whole phenomenon of having a little bill haircut and not really knowing what black hair can do, because you got the little bill haircut every 2 weeks.
Man, how you guys loaded so fast? I'm like,
It's really interesting seeing the different styles and textures black hair can take, especially your own. What are y'all perspectives on black hair care? What type of styles do y'all see? Because I've noticed over the last few years, it was always black men and black little boys that had different hairstyles and braids and this and that. But I've noticed over the last few years, there's been a lot of different styles and different things and different haircuts and different things going on, right? And I'm just like, black hair can be really fun to have in style if you really take care of it. A few months ago, I even tried buying one of these, like, you know, sponges where you can like use this side or use this side to give your hair like that certain shape, that certain curl, but this didn't work for me either. Like I was looking crazy. So I was like, let me put that away.
Oh my God.
Just wasn't for me. So I'm deciding to go with the whole Afro style, you know, Jackson 5 style, you know, like the way my father had it back when I was younger. And I'm really excited. Depending on how this video does, I'll keep y'all updated and we'll take it from there. So let's really get this discussion started on black hair care. And for all my guys out there, did y'all have the little bill haircut? Did y'all know guys that had the little bill haircut? All my women watching this, did y'all know guys in school, elementary, kindergarten, middle school, high school that had the little bill haircut? And what are y'all thoughts on the changing progressions and the changing styles y'all see with black hair, women and men? Because it's really interesting to see from like 10, 15, 5 years ago, how different styles and different textures and different things you could do with black hair, how versatile, how dope, how many different shapes and forms black hair can take. What are some of y'all black hair care journeys and black hair care routines? Let's discuss this down below. I can't wait to get this discussion started. This should be a really fun and intriguing comment section. Just talking about black hair in the many different forms and shapes and journeys it can take. And I just cannot wait to interact with y'all in the comments. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.